I think the biggest thing that draws people to Jacksonville is our long tradition of Southern hospitality that's been in Jacksonville for a long time. Jacksonville's been a major city in Florida forever. It's always the home of the Florida-Georgia game, the Gator Bowl game, all those things that contribute to a lot of our past uh, history. And we have a lot of fine restaurants in Jacksonville that cater to our Southern cuisine. We have Black Sheep, we have Missy's Restaurant in Yulee, which is a wonderful restaurant with a lot of Southern food, and as well as others in Jacksonville. And it's just, I think that draws a lot of people here because while it's in Florida, it's not really like South Florida. It's more of a Southern town. It's more of an old Southern town, so to speak. And it has a lot of the heritage and stuff that most of the South, or at least most of Florida, doesn't have anymore.
What do you think when people criticize the food, saying that it's gross and it's made like, they put all kinds of weird possums and all kinds of stuff in the stew. I mean, what is your favorite thing?
My favorite thing is fried chicken, and I love it, and you can get it here, and you can't get it anywhere else like it's cooked here. And you can't. And as far as the other stuff, that's really garbage. I mean, we don't put stuff like that in our food. We don't eat possums and stuff like that. We eat good food, but it's cooked well too. They just aren't used to real good food.
And you said you were born here in Florida. Where'd you grow up at?
In Ocala.
And what drew you to Jacksonville? What made you want to come to Jacksonville? And then you.
Well, when I was younger, as I used to come up here a lot because my aunt lived here, and would come here to visit. And what drew me back here was a job and restaurants, and the fact that I like the city. I like the living on the water. I like the fact that the river goes through the city, and we have great medical facilities here too.
What's the biggest changes you've seen over the last 40 years?
The biggest changes I've seen is when all the stores moved from downtown out to first to Regency Mall and then to the Avenues Mall, and now St. John's Town Center. And there's virtually no stores downtown, where it used to be all the stores were downtown. And the major stores were all there. They all had restaurants.
Can you describe what it was like 40 years ago?
Oh yeah, it was. Well, the city hall was May Cohen's, and it was like the elite department store in the whole southeast. From Atlanta to Miami, it was renowned. They made their own candy. They made everything there in-house. They had their own restaurant. It was one of the first air-conditioned buildings in Jacksonville, and it was an extremely popular store. And when Regency Square opened, they actually opened a store in Regency Square, but then later on, that store as well as the downtown store failed and they closed. And but also downtown there was Levy Wolf, there was Firskritz, there was Rosenblum's, and Rosenblum's is now the only one of those that still survives. They have 4 stores now in Jacksonville, and it's especially men's and ladies, kind of a boutique store.
So, what about the critics that say that Florida is actually growing? We actually have more people now than we've ever had before. Is that true or false?
It's true in the fact that the population has grown. The city itself, has grown some, but we don't have the urban core we used to have. It's starting to come back because they're starting to open up, places like Peterbrook and Sweet Peaks and stuff like that. They're starting to open up downtown again. I think with the expansion of the Skyway, that will even enhance that a little bit more if they can expand it across the river. And obviously the projects that are going on at Everbank Field are going to help, with the downtown situation. I think the biggest thing we've got to do is revitalize downtown.
And one last thing, if I were from any other part of the country, what can you say to me to draw me to Florida? Aside being like hospitals and stuff, I want to come and I want to vacation, I want to experience your lifestyle. What can you say to me?
The weather is number one, and then we definitely have a laid back lifestyle. It's not as hustle and bustle as it is in a lot of places. I mean, it's still a big city, but we still have that southern charm, so to speak, where we kind of lay back and we take things a little easier than they do in a lot of big cities. And I think that would be the biggest thing that we could offer to anybody else, along with the historical things too.
Okay, Mr. Sandy Smith, we thank you for your time and patience. You have a wonderful day, and take care.